I'm here with featured guest Sopon Sisakunpat. Ooh, that's a Thai name. And Sopon, are you ready to rock?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go.
All right, let's do this. So Sopon has 3.5 years experience working in Thailand at the big four accounting firms of KPMG and PwC. He has analyzed and observed business processes and coordinated with the management of large public non-listed or non-life, insurance companies. He is completing his MBA at the Sassoon School of Management, where he majors in finance and strategy. That's a school I'm very familiar with. He is also currently representing his university in the CFA Research Challenge, which is something I'm also very familiar with, an equity research valuation competition. At Sassoon, he's an academic rep for his MBA class of 2017. In addition to all of that, he's also a healthcare tech startup co-founder and CFO of Welly, a physiotherapist platform. Sopon, take a minute and fill in any further tidbits about your life.
Hi guys, I like finance. I love singing. Just some funny facts. I have some prior knowledge in investments. As a beginner, I still made mistake in investment.
All right. And what do you like to sing, by the way?
I like Ronan Keating and yeah, mostly Thai songs. But
okay.
Mostly 90s songs like Westlife.
Got it. Yeah, I like to sing. Unfortunately, the people who listen to me don't like me to sing, so that's good for you. All right. So now it's time to share your worst investment ever. And since no one goes into their worst investment thinking it will be, tell us a bit about the circumstances leading up to it, and then tell us your story.
I'm about to tell you about investing in a private company. It started like 2 years ago when my mom just told me, hey, a friend of mine has some investments in private company. They said like it's a share. So at the beginning, I was surprised. And they all talk about being rich and like my grade is coming up. Yeah, I want to be rich and stuff. It's like they try to bring a lot of famous people in the government sector and stuff to ensure you get rich. And even the MC, they got like, wow, doctoral degree, as I recall. So they have like a very good brand image at the first place. I attended the seminar, but however, I found it's very confusing for their business model compared to what I learned. I listened to them several times just to understand what their exact business model is, but I still do not understand how they get their revenue models. So I get to the website to check their financial statements, and there's still no clues, so little details. Like the story, how they get their cash is like some direct sales schemes where they get like many people on the platform to get the commission, like commission on the commission on the commission and stuff like that. So it's all pretty vague, confusing, but I still hope like I'll get to understand it. Maybe I'm less intelligent than I get to be. So to sum up, every information I get is vague. So I'm still was stubborn, didn't listen to my inner voice. So I ended up invested like 100,000 bahts in it. And now it's gone because the whole management team, I think they got caught and the whole investment flew away. I think the management team, some of them, they flew away too. Yeah.
Wow. Now that is a very common experience. I think a lot of people have some of those exact experiences, and I have some things to say about it. But let me ask you, what lessons did you learn from that?
My lesson is that I shouldn't have invested in something I didn't completely understand, and I should be aware of my greed. I shouldn't trust people too much.
Let me summarize my takeaways from that, and then tell me if I've missed anything. The first thing is that there are so many schemes out there where people are trying to get other people's money.
Yeah.
And there are some legitimate schemes, but most of them, I would argue, are probably not. And one of the first things that I take away from this is that if you ever are talking with someone and they're talking about being rich or getting rich, be careful right there, because that's not a normal conversation. And I say that, so if you hear someone talking about getting rich, being rich, something like that, that's a warning sign. Now, the second thing is that what you taught. So, but that is trying to tap into you. This is a story of emotion, right? Because that's tapping into your greed, as you mentioned. So the emotion of greed gets you excited. The second thing is that they used famous people from government and other places to build credibility, right? And so there's credibility that they're trying to build. So you're thinking, hey, if that guy did it and if he's involved in it, it must be, good. And again, there are some not rip-off type of things that do have credible people in it. And you think, hey, that guy, is credible, that man or woman. And so you follow it. But for the scams and the people like that, they're definitely trying everything they can to bring credibility. Yeah. And the third part you mentioned about confusing business model. Now, I think that one of the lessons that I've learned in life is that actually things are pretty simple in life. And if you find that they're really hard to understand, it's too complicated. And usually there's a reason why it's complicated. Someone's trying to hide something. Someone's trying to manipulate something, because really the best ideas and some of the best people out there are talking about very simple, so that's a third part. And then I like what you said about inner voice. Like you had an inner voice that was telling you that, hey, there's some risk here. And I think that what I would like the listeners in the audience to think about is that inner voice will come out when you feel like something's not right. And it will usually come out for all of us. But that inner voice is not that powerful. The tools that these people have used of greed and credibility, confusion gives you doubt, like maybe I'm not smart enough and all these guys are so smart. All of these things they're trying to do is trying to override that inner voice that you have. So for the audience, I want you to take heed of your inner voice when it comes out and you think, wait a minute, is this really right? Does this make sense? Grab that inner voice and don't let anybody override that inner voice with all of their talk and credibility efforts. So those are my takeaways. Is there anything that I missed or anything you'd like to add?
No, I really like your add on the inner voice.
Yeah, that's in fact what we can say is that I think that most worst investments start off feeling excited, but then there comes that moment of question or doubt. And so what I would hope is that my listeners can grab that question, that moment of doubt and that inner voice, and then really use it